World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. The United States has seized an oil tanker linked to Venezuela after tracking it across the Atlantic Ocean. The vessel, formerly known as Bella 1, was sanctioned by Washington in 2024 for allegedly being part of a so-called shadow fleet used to transport illegal oil. Reuters first reported the seizure on Wednesday, citing sources who said the operation involved the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. military. A U.S. official said Russian naval ships and a submarine had been moving in the area to protect the tanker before it was seized, though it remains unclear how close they were at the time. Ship tracking data shows the tanker was taken about 190 miles south of Iceland in the North Atlantic and made a sudden turn shortly before reports of the seizure emerged. In a separate operation, the U.S. also seized another vessel in the Caribbean, describing it as stateless and allegedly involved in illegal activities. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the seizures send a clear message that criminals will be pursued wherever they operate. In other news overseas, the White House says the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump is considering several options to acquire Greenland, including the possible use of the U.S. military. According to Anadolu, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said President Trump views Greenland as a national security priority, especially to counter threats in the Arctic region. She added that all options remain on the table as discussions continue. The statement follows President Trump's repeated public calls to take control of Greenland for strategic reasons. He renewed the proposal over the weekend, saying the island is vital to U.S. national security and questioning Denmark's ability to protect it. Greenland is a self-governing territory under the Kingdom of Denmark and has repeatedly rejected any move to transfer sovereignty to the United States. It is noted that Denmark's Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, has responded by urging President Trump to stop making threats. And finally, Pope Leo XIV has officially closed the Holy Door at St. Peter's Basilica, marking the end of the 25th Ordinary Jubilee of the Catholic Church. The Holy Door was first opened in December 2024 by the late Pope Francis to begin a Holy Year focused on hope. The closing ceremony was attended by Italian leaders including President Sergio Mattarella, as well as cardinals, bishops, diplomats, and Catholic faithful from around the world. In his message, Pope Leo XIV reminded believers that while the Holy Door is now closed, God's mercy remains open to all. Thousands of pilgrims took part in the event, including a Filipino-Canadian devotee who said witnessing the Jubilee was a deeply personal and faith-filled experience. The Vatican says more than 33 million pilgrims passed through the Holy Door during the Jubilee year. The Holy Door is set to reopen in the year 2033 for the celebration of redemption. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.